Greetings, everyone. Today I was thinking about something kind of interesting. I was rummaging around and I ran into something kind of fun. This thing. This is a Smurf. Now, growing up, I remember I watched this cartoon and I used to think it was pretty fun. The thing that was kind of neat about the Smurfs, now a lot of you probably know this, and I know this from not having to look it up, they didn't really have many interactions with humans. It seemed like the humans that they knew kind of wanted to either keep them secret or expose them in some way. For example, Gargamel, from what I remember, wanted to consume them to gain immortality. From what I remember, he also was the one who created Smurfette. Up to that point, Smurfs were just delivered by Stork on a blue moon, and yeah, there were no female versions of the Smurfs. And then, of course, there was Johann and Pee Wee later on that befriended Handy Smurf, and Handy had made an autonomous Smurf called Clockwork. And anyway, they had other adventures, but I kind of remember this stuff growing up. As I said, I'm sure you can look this stuff up. So what I'm going to do, I'm not actually going to draw a Smurf. Instead, what I'm going to do is think of small creatures and their possibility, if they exist, where would you find them? You know? So, just going to draw small creatures, I think, for a little bit. Humanoid-like creatures. I think kind of the concept of what I would expect out of small humanoid-like creatures, perhaps, would be how they'd be affected by gravity or not affected by gravity because of their overall size. So, for example, an ant could fall off a picnic table and not really get damaged from it. They wouldn't have extraordinary mass, is kind of what I'm getting at. Now, what I'm going to draw firstly would be kind of like, I don't know, let's say like an elf, but not really an elf. This one will have a beard. You know, kind of like a leprechaun, but not really a leprechaun. Now, Smurfs were funny enough. They lived in mushrooms. They they would have adventures. I don't know if you really had a chance to see them unless it was like a very special moon or something like that. So I think for the most part, some version of magic would cloak them. We're giving it kind of Smurf-like features just for fun. Let's set this down here because I'll probably rotate this thing as I go. Now, I think we might be adding some clothing, maybe. I don't know if they would need collars, what kind of body structure that they would have. But instead, we'll figure out a couple of things. Now perhaps, if you hear in the background, that's my good buddy Neville. When Gargamel was trying to find the Smurfs, he would have used his cat Azrael. I think cats are kind of in tune with nature more so than a lot of creatures, because house cats are related to the big cats, and the big cats are very much aware of their surroundings. Like I in a way, I think cats might see, well, in spectrums of light a little bit differently. Is it possible that they can see into another dimension? I don't know. So our friends in the past in Egypt, in some ways, I suppose it's said that they revered cats. As if somehow they were in tune to something. It's interesting, though. We're not doing anything serious at the moment. We're just doodling. Now, do I want this holding something? I don't know why I put the arms the way I did, to be honest with you. Well, let's say in this hand, we'll have actually they have how many fingers? Well, we'll go with this many. Some kind of a tool. Well, let's say, because we're working at it this way, we're going to start off like this. Now, I do find it interesting the way hand tools have kind of developed over the years. Now, obviously, the legs of this creature is going to be about here, but instead, what we're going to do is we're going to make it so that perhaps our friend here is standing on some kind of a ladder. Sometimes you would end up with an opposite tooth in the tines. And up here, what could we have in this hand? I don't know, we'll figure that out in a moment. It's fun to just sort of see what you can do with something. Maybe we'll have the other leg here. Then we'll have to figure out some kind of safety, something or other thing. So yeah, a little more elf-like, I suppose. Now, I guess we could be cutting a limb, or why would we have this saw? And what kind of, why are we at this sort of look? Well, let's put in some sort of safety harnesses. Because we got to protect this wonderful creature. Maybe some kind of seat as well. So let's say from here we have front support harness. We're going to have it attached somehow. And maybe something that would kind of go up this way, or maybe this way as well. But we're not going very far with this one. picture-wise. This is just a fun thing. And perhaps here we'll have a spike of sorts that can be attached to the tree. Now, something else to step on here. Something like that anyway. That was part of how I play around with sketchbooks. I'm also just going to doodle in some other stuff too that might be part of the concept that would be running through my head. So actually I don't even know what size I'd be kind of aiming this creature or this person at, but actually let's hop to another page, or even better, let's no, let's go back to that other page. We'll doodle on this one just to finish off some little concepts. So what if some of them look like that? You know, kind of a bushy beard look, big ears. Yeah, maybe. Just thinking of different noses too. This is kind of the fun thing for me. Just playing around with ideas. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I like that nose as much. Now if I were to draw a much more petite version, would I make larger eyes? But I assume somehow that it might have a slightly, I don't know, look frail but also very strong, almost alien-like, I think. Let's try that. Looking off to one side, perhaps. Little tiny nose. It's weird to do this kind of stuff like this. I don't know if you can have some creatures if they have like wings that you could confuse them with, I don't know, let's say dragonflies or something like that. That'd be kind of interesting. That seems interesting to me. I think that's it for now with that. Something about the way that one looks, actually. Let's just do a little finishing on that one. Has a sort of a basic shape that I find interesting. Now, I don't know if you had a creature that was free in nature, if they would actually just wear typical kind of clothing. You know, I don't know if modesty would really be the thing. But we're going to, because it is very much built into us for how we deal with public things. So let's say this is almost like the queen of the fairies. We're just kind of exploring this one a little bit more. So out of all of that little quick little doodling stuff, I think I like this one the best, just for the way the shape kind of popped out of it. So I think with the next drawing I'll try to do something a little more related to this. And because of the way the wings, I mean, totally unrelated to that, I suppose, but so let's see how this goes with the next drawing, and maybe we can make something kind of fun with this and maybe create a scene or something like that. So I think that's it for now. I hope everyone has a wonderful day, and yeah, let's see where this goes with the next drawing. It might be kind of fun. All right, folks, have a wonderful day, and we'll see you again at some point in the near future.